A lot has been put on hold as a result of the coronavirus, including in politics. Federal Parliament has barely sat. The federal budget has been delayed until October. But what has also been on hold is scrutiny of the messy issue of $100 million of grants for community sports facilities before last year's election.
Catherine and then Michelle.
Prime Minister, just on sports grants.
I'm dealing with grants.
The Audit Office told Senate estimates that changes were made to the spreadsheets.
Ministerial authority for the program was with the Minister for Sport.
Did you mislead the House of Representatives when you said that no authorisation was provided by you?
It's good to see that the Canberra Press Gallery is back to politics as usual with Parliament coming back. Yeah, thank you. I've answered your question. I said no.
The sports rorts controversy concerns political interference in the making of taxpayer-funded grants in marginal electorates. The patience of the Parliament and journalists to get answers on the affair has been running out in recent weeks, and new revelations last Friday from the Australian National Audit Office, first reported by Guardian Australia, put the focus clearly on the role of the Prime Minister's office in the whole affair. On March 25 last year, the PM's office asked Sports Minister Bridget McKenzie if one particular project was likely to receive funding and noting that it was a priority for the local coalition members. The next day, the PM's office asked her to seek Scott Morrison's authority on grants. On the 10th of April, Senator McKenzie wrote to the Prime Minister's office with a list of sports clubs she intended to fund. That afternoon, the PM's office requested that one project be swapped for another and asked that the rollout of grants be coordinated with campaign headquarters. At 8 a.m. the very next morning, Scott Morrison called the election and the Parliament was dissolved. Less than 20 minutes later came an email from Senator McKenzie's office, noting it had agreed to the suggested changes earlier that morning at 7:13 a.m. Senator McKenzie emailed the PM's office almost 4 hours later with a new list, and 8 minutes later sent a revised list to the sports agency that removed one project and added 9 more. By February this year, the PM was distancing himself from the scheme, saying Senator McKenzie was the person with authority over the grants. And on Monday, he denied misleading Parliament over the affair.
I've answered your question. I said no.
In a nutshell, the paper trail now shows the PM's office instructing McKenzie to get its approval on grants, and that Morrison's office intervened to have specific applications approved, and that the PM's office told McKenzie's office to discuss grants with the Liberal Party machine. That not only gives the PM a case to answer, but runs against his statement to Parliament in February that it was McKenzie who had the power to authorise grants.
In relation to sports rorts,
This afternoon, the PM was drawing a distinction between authorising grants and authorising their announcement.
The authority for making the decisions in relation to that program was the Minister for Sport. That is the fact, Mr Speaker. It may be inconvenient to the opposition that is the fact, but that is the fact, Mr Speaker. The only authority sought from the Prime Minister's office and from myself, Mr Speaker, was in relation to announcements.
The sports rorts affair is simply not going to go away, and there are lots of other issues emerging needing scrutiny. High on the list is the government's introduction today of new legislation giving ASIO the power to arrest and question 14-year-olds, and the power to place tracking devices on cars or in people's bags with only internal approval rather than a warrant. It's no wonder parliamentarians are trying to get the Parliament to sit for longer than the current 3 days this week before August. So far, and perhaps little wonder, the government is resisting the push.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.